Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. That's right, welcome back. And if you are not being welcomed back, hey, we're glad you're here for the first time. My name is Stan Houston, and I am the creator and the curmudgeon and perhaps sometimes even the encourager for a program that we call Interesting Ideas. And the reason we do that is nothing good happens until somebody has a good idea. And oftentimes that good idea will make something real. And when that happens, a good idea becomes something good and real, then maybe life happens. And it's good. So that's the business we're in this modest little podcast program. We're trying to help you live better starting now. And perhaps we can have an idea from time or two that will help you do just that. Remember, if you'll take about 12 to 20 minutes every day just to think about something new and perhaps learn something you didn't know, if you do that every day, it won't take you very long before you'll become a lot smarter. And perhaps, as one person said, if you keep doing it for about 7 years, you might be a world-class expert. And wouldn't that be nice? Well, that's what we're going to try to do today. And it's going to be on a fun but not so fun subject. But it's meant to catch your attention. We're going to talk about caterpillars and cockroaches. And what can we learn from walking the trails where there are caterpillars and cockroaches? Well, let's see where that leads us and where it might lead you. I'm Stan Houston. Thank you for being a part. Obviously, you're an interesting person because you're listening to Interesting Ideas, and the program begins right now. First of all, here's an idea that someone just proposed in a very current event. The news is all about the trial of Donald Trump. And of course, there's obviously mixed feelings about that. And a number of people who are obviously partisans in some sense say, well, of course, it's a raw deal. Well, it's also true that even those who aren't necessarily akin in terms of who he is and what he believes and what he does, there are other people who just say, I wouldn't like that to happen to me. That trial seems to be something that's not particularly quite right. That's happening. And there are, of course, some people, and probably a great number of people, who don't like Donald Trump, and whatever bad comes his way, they are in favor of that. Well, someone proposed that what Trump should do, because supposedly the judge now who has made him sit still and not campaign while the whole trial is there, but then said, we'll let you go and attend your son's graduation. Well, big deal. Good for them. Obviously, they know, even dumb people are smart enough to know that allowing him to do that would at least be something that would have to happen. But then one pundit said, and after that day, he should announce that he is leaving New York State and he's not participating anymore. And they can fine him, and they can try and find him and put him in jail, but he's done with it. Do your deal, decide what you want to do, convict whatever you want to do, we'll appeal the case, and it'll be gone. So we're going back on the path, and we're going to start campaigning, whether you like it or not. And in fact, to do a kind of a typical American patriot thing, and that is to rebel against the authority. So what do you think of that? Would that be a good thing, a good idea? just let that sit on your head for a while. Well, I talked about ducks on Monday, and I took my morning walk as always, and guess what? Now the ducks are, well, my poor little 2 ducks, she's still there with her 10, 7, 4, 3, 2, and the 2 one, they're bigger now, so they're probably going to make it. Well, also it turns out that the geese are beginning to have their chicks, and of course they're bigger than the ducks. But it also turns out that the geese, and I think I've been told that oftentimes the mating might be for life among geese. Now, I don't know. But what they do is they have their chicks. Now, when I walk by, they begin, the mother or father, or there's a pair of them, will start really hissing at me, like they're going to protect me, they're going to go after me. And of course, in parts of Europe, actually, the geese are actually used kind of like watchdogs, because big enough and species enough, they can actually attack and be quite dangerous. Well, I always have my walking stick with me, and I wouldn't hit them, but if they really would try and attack, I will just put it up and make sure that they can't get to me. But they're having their chicks now, and so I'm watching them. And maybe it's the fact that they're bigger, that they have a better way, or a better way to survive. Maybe the turtles or the fish or some other animals can't get to them like they can get to the little ducks. But that was always a life lesson. That life is difficult, life is challenging. Our mortality is a part of life, that even in the wonderful thing in the birth of little baby ducks, that life is kind of hard and cruel, and survival is a gift, and we should be grateful for that, and we should be seeking to be able to do all we can to enhance our ability to not only survive but to thrive and to flourish. The great and wonderful F word. We'll talk about that later sometime. Flourish. We are here to flourish. You want to know why you're on planet Earth? You're here to flourish. Okay. And you said, and now, Stan, what about the cockroaches and the caterpillars? Well, here's the deal. As I go across, my trail around the lake and come back, inevitably, I will see caterpillars, little caterpillars going around, struggling around. And of course, they're quite slow. Now, I also see, and I see these quite often, there are cockroaches, or what my children would call cacalaca, which was the name that they learned in Latin America, because it's kind of the Spanish version of it. It kind of has a kind of an edge sound to it. Cacalaca, cacalaca. And when we were living in the Caribbean and Latin America, we had them all the time. And they're fast. They can move. And they're hard to kill. But whenever they're around, most people try to get rid of them. So here is the life lesson I just want to ask you to think about. Schweitzer, Dr. Schweitzer. Dr. Schweitzer, the great missionary doctor, who made his reputation in Africa and was such an incredible man of, hey, life is vital. And he spent his life as a doctor trying to heal people in deepest and darkest Africa. And he said he became so enamored with the beauty of life that he actually found it kind of hard to kill insects, even the bad ones. Malaria comes from an insect. A lot of diseases are spread by, like cacalacas. And they carry dirt and filth and germs, and they can help spread disease. And so I thought about that because when I see a kakalaka, I usually try and get it and step on it. And what happened to Dr. Schweitzer is that he became such a fan of life that he even began to think about whether he should even kill anything. You know, obviously an animal of some kind. No. Well, that's not the way the food chain works, of course. We know that. Animals kill animals to eat, and bigger animals kill smaller animals to eat. And obviously, there's probably the ducks are gone because the hawks took them down, or the turtle grabbed them and took them under. And, that's the deal. And so here's what came to me. Yeah, I still think I'm going to step on the cockroaches. However, I now fully understand why I should never step on a caterpillar. And can you give me a good reason why that might be true? Do any of you begin to think you understand why I wouldn't step on a caterpillar and I would step on a cockroach? Well, we're at 11 minutes, and we're just going to take a quick musical interlude, and then I'll be back and I'll tell you why. I'm Stan Houston. The program is Interesting Ideas. We're here to help you become a more interesting person and become a person of influence, impact, and greater income in your life. We can help you do that. Ask me how. StanHouston@gmail.com. StanHouston@gmail.com. And by the way, if you want to have a better life, you're going to have to be on the radio. I'll tell you about that all the time. StanHouston@gmail.com, witradio.net to check the radio stuff out, and we'll be right back. Well, here we go. When I see the little caterpillar with his many little legs, of course, he's moving quite slow. He looks like a worm, and he's very easy to catch, and he's very easy. If I just want to squash him with my shoe, I could do that. And I'm sure some people do, just like we step on a cockroach. And it's no game with the caterpillar. Even though he has those many legs, he still moves pretty slow. And of course, if he senses danger, he curls up, and which just makes him easier to be stepped on. Well, what I have done is when I see a little caterpillar, I stop and I reach down and very gently try and move him off the path and into the grass so that nobody will see him, hopefully, and step on him, purposely or accidentally. Well, why? Well, here's the point. I've been told, and we all know the idea that the caterpillar could become a butterfly, a thing of beauty, a thing that can flourish and flow, that this dumpy, frumpy, ugly little animal can be transformed through some great miracle of nature that he pulls in and kind of dies as he builds a cocoon around himself, and then he is changed into something beautiful, something that doesn't crawl on the dirt anymore, but flies in the sunshine. Of course, life is short for every animal, including the caterpillar becoming a butterfly. Well, here's my life lesson. There are a number of people who are going to be butterflies, but right now they're caterpillars. And there are a number of people who are cockroaches, and they're going to stay that way. I oftentimes told people when I was consulting and coaching, when they were having difficulty with a particular person, customer, colleague, I would say, "Are they a cockroach?" And they would describe their behavior. And I say, "Well, if they're a cockroach, get rid of them." Now, if they could be a butterfly, let's be a little bit more patient. One of my mentors said, "Stan, if it looks like this was a bad deal, this was a bad hire, you sense that, you feel it, fire them. Fire them now. You're hoping they will get better. There's a good chance that they're going to stay what they are. If they're a cockroach, they're just going to become a bigger cockroach, dirtier and faster. So for their sake, and certainly for yours, find another venue, another path for them. On the other hand, always remember that some of the people who are now slow, but there's something there. And see if perhaps with nurture and care, and not by stepping on them, but by caring for them, they just might blossom into a butterfly. Well, that's what we try and do. Sometimes we get it wrong, of course. But if we are more aware, there's a good chance we'll get it right. First of all, are you a cockroach? Or are you a caterpillar on your way to being a butterfly? And the people who work with you, are you seeking to help them flourish, to blossom, become something beautiful, so that they bring beauty, flourishing, and profitability into the business? That's the deal. I'm Stan Houston for Interesting Ideas. We'll be right back. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Hey, every good radio conversation has to be under 20 minutes, so we'll try and make it that way. But we are Wednesday, and we are here with our coaching, our radio, and our work that helps you and your business. And we can help you flourish, that you can have greater insight, greater ideas, greater influence, greater impact, and greater income. That's the work we do, and we do it well. And there's a good chance we can do it for you. Reach out to me, very simply, stanhouston@gmail.com. Also, if you're just curious, say, what do you do? I do a lot of things. Here's an exercise. Just go to YouTube and write in my name and see what video or what podcast comes up of the thousands I've done. And you know what? It just might be one from 7, 10 years ago or just now. And it might be just what you need to hear right now. That's a good experiment. Give it a try. I would be grateful. Best and blessings to you, butterfly. Have it your way. Go your way. Blessings on your way. See you again soon. Bye for now. Yeah, fly by this way. Thank you.